questions and answers.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, 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 all the YouTube outlaws. Man, glad to see y'all. Pull up a chair. Another edition, man. So, hope y'all feeling good today. Got my partners with me, man. I'm on Facebook.
We ain't live yet.
All right,
on Facebook.
Yeah, hope you had a chance to check out the show Thursday night. Yeah, we got
Heck of a show.
Appreciate all the support, man, all the
show.
love. You know what I'm saying? We want to give shouts out to all the supporters, all the outlaws. We're just getting calls. We've been getting calls from all over, man. So, you know, it ain't just a 414 thing no more. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all the Facebook outlaws. How y'all doing tonight? Saturday night edition. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. Saturday night edition. Show that love black people who love black people. I am Brother Talk to Teach, listen to learn your truth, transfer engineer. Just a brother with a different special perspective, trying to use my powers for good. Hope you're doing the same thing. This is Outlaw Radio, brother. Tell the people something good, man.
Peace, peace. How y'all doing out there? I am the black woman's lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. Just hit me up if you need me. 414-949-2122. I got them herbal mixes for you. I got that elderberry for you. Kev, what's happening?
This boy came in with some energy. I feel
like let's get it.
Welcome to Outlaw Radio on a Saturday night, man. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio questions and answers, an extension of what we do. Our world-class smartass, man. The militant with a microphone, aka the Negro Whisperer. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Shout out to man, we getting so much love from the mill. Shout out to OJ.
What's up, OJ?
OJ Kelly, who's with us last Thursday night. Yeah, man. Come in and get it done, right? And that's what I respect, you know. And see, one thing is people are surprised about the profanity that we use on the show, right? They're surprised about the profanity. They like some people are really sensitive to curse words. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff tonight, but welcome to the show. I appreciate your support. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. We have a phone line.
Keith, what up, man? I'll see you.
414-231-9982. I'll repeat that again. 414-231-9982. We started this out on Wednesday with Warrior Report, in which my brother and myself, we had a great time.
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir. Go back and check it out, y'all. Go back and check it out.
Last Thursday was bananas.
Black wellness.
Last Thursday was the highest rated show we've ever had. Like, so, you know, when you think you have
y'all.
Man, we appreciate the support.
Thank you.
And it's like to some people, it's not a big thing. Like, but to me, it's a big thing when I see that we got the highest rating, and this goes back for 6 years. This is the highest rated show I've ever been a part of. So y'all was part of that.
Me too.
Right. I know. But I've done so many shows.
I just started. Yeah. That was the joke in it. I just started.
Yeah. So. No, man, it's on y'all, man. I appreciate that support. And I want to commend these brothers because we have a blizzard right now. We have an Arctic vortex going on.
Man.
These brothers still showed up.
Milwaukee weather.
Yes, sir. So love to y'all, man.
Nor'easter.
Right.
We got a Midwestern.
Well, it's what we call winter in Wisconsin. Like, I don't know what state you from.
Right.
I'm from Herm.
It's our north.
With 3041 North.
Yes.
414-810. 131
5-star.
Mr. and Mrs. Terry now, right?
Yeah, peace, y'all.
They had the fairy tale wedding. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Black love, right?
Yeah.
People say, "How you like that?" But you call Papoose a cornball. Just stop it. Leave that. Let's leave that.
You still entertaining?
I brought it back up. I'm self-D.
Yeah.
How y'all doing, man? Who you want to shout out, Jack?
Man, I can't complain, man. What's up with Dante, brother? Dante Chestnut, man, brother Tef, man. All the usual suspects, you know what I'm saying? The ones who show us love and whatnot. If I missed you, you know, my bad. Right. I used to say in church, charge it to my head, not my heart.
Right.
Something like that.
Hey.
Behind, we appreciate the kind that jingle, but we love the kind that fall.
Right. Right. All the time. Oh yeah, shout out to Honeybee Sage. Shout out to the Next Level Vegan down at the Sherman Phoenix. Shout out to Center Street Wellness, the second store where you could go find your Nature's Nature herbs and supplements.
Okay.
Shout out to Nature's Nature herbs and supplements.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, one more thing.
Shit,
I
my
Boomerang.
man.
Shout out to I Boomerang, my homie Keith right here, a new partner of mine. He watching. So yeah, we having a good time early in the year.
Yes,
It's
sir.
gonna go down. I'm so excited.
That's what's up.
We can tell. We can tell by the
Yeah,
way
man.
you talking.
Hey.
You fired up. You can
Yeah,
take
man.
them up.
Yeah, man.
It's just like Ernest Lacey just died.
The
You
seeds,
fired up.
hey, the
Wow.
seeds is sprouting.
Right.
Some more
You know?
Milwaukee-ness.
The
Right.
seeds is
Milwaukee-ness.
sprouting.
I like
Milwaukee-ism.
Milwaukeeism. Ernest Lacey.
Yeah.
Daniel Bell.
All right. Okay.
Right. Should I call out everybody?
All right, do it.
Hey, hit like, hit share, and follow. We simulcast right now. Our YouTube page is live as well. Matter of fact, I got to move in for the YouTube. Okay. I don't want nobody to miss all
No,
this.
that's just an excuse.
I don't want nobody to miss all this, right? Like, you know how we do it. But it's Outlaw Radio. Shout out to Beverly Williams,
Yes,
who called in and talked about the $87 million proposed
she did.
referendum for MPS. And we talked about just them being, with already having $1 billion budget and just being more than anybody else, in which that's not true.
Right.
Actually, MPS spends more
Hmm.
than everybody else,
Mhm.
and they're still failing at alarming rates.
Right.
So go back and listen at that show, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Beverly Williams.
Shout out.
And we had who else? So
Y'all
shout
made it
out.
up, right?
I said, well, I'm gonna say we back friends now.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah,
This
romance
is
is back.
I thought that was dope yesterday. I mean the other day.
I thought it
I want
was
to
too.
commend you. You know,
It
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
real
No, I
moment.
want to commend you, the care of who I know. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? That took a lot for real. You know what I mean? And this is what our community need to see. Our community need to see, okay, we can have bad times, but we can talk this shit out, man.
Yeah, it just so happened
know what
to
I mean?
happen on the damn show. It wasn't
Yeah.
rehearsed.
And that was dope.
Yeah,
That's what was so dope about it. It wasn't rehearsed.
and David Crowley will be on here.
I want to commend him too
Oh, yeah.
for initiating to call.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we've
saying?
been talking back and
Yeah.
forth. Mandela, you on the clock? Holla at your boy, man. Stop acting light-skinned. You understand? I'm being racist, right? I'm being racist.
Colorism.
Right. But questions and answers, like, I always talk about being comfortable and what makes you comfortable. If you talk about the truth, what is your truth? What do you think is true? What questions do you have, and what answers have been provided for those questions? I'm saying there's conspiracies, right?
No.
Conspiracy theories. There's the moon landing, right? There's the Illuminati. I don't know if you're up on the Mandela effect. I'll talk about the Mandela effect in a second. There's deja vu. There's UFOs. There's ghosts. There's myths of mythical creatures who live in the wild that we've yet to even see or even be able to like have a scientific understanding of. And then there's the even 9/11. Like that's a conspiracy where there's a lot of unanswered questions. The JFK assassination, the conspiracies to destroy Malcolm, Martin, all these things, right? Fred Hampton, all these conspiracy theories. So all those questions I can ask, if I don't get the answers for all those questions, should I be uncomfortable? Or should I just be willing to say, well, they won't tell me the truth, right?
Mhm.
So I said questions and answers because I know we all have questions about all of the things that have happened. Deja vu. Somebody explain deja vu to me. 414-231-9982. Have you ever had deja vu before? Have you ever had it?
Mhm.
Somebody explain that to me.
Mhm.
Because you was there at that. You know how deja vu goes. You're like, I know, this happened before.
Mhm.
So you explain all these kinds of things that we don't understand.
Now you realize what you
Maybe I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
I think it could be something that we done dreamt before. You know, your thoughts become your reality. We all know that, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
that's what they
thinking,
said.
and in your sleep, you don't know what you're thinking, but you're thinking in the real world, thinking of you in the world, we're picturing yourself in the real
Yeah, the
world.
pee dream.
So I'm thinking like maybe
You
that's
peed on
something that we done
yourself.
dreamt before, and you remember it when you live it. You know what
I
I mean?
don't
That
know.
could be deja vu, probably. I mean, that's a heavy question, man.
Right.
You
So
know what I'm saying?
all of the stuff you say, I'd like to know because, like, we talk about people laugh at me because I say I believe in aliens. Like I do.
Right.
I don't. To me,
Why,
there's no way Earth could just exist on this planet.
Why would they laugh at you?
Because people like do believe in like aliens, right? Like that's funny to people.
Right. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Questions and answers.
Because somebody told you that it was ridiculous.
Questions and
when you talk about deja vu, well, first of all, you realize you're going to get just a bunch of theories. You're not going to get it right because some of the things ways that I've heard it explained is, I've heard it explained that you're dealing with different dimensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an alternative dimension that's going on simultaneously right now, right? And reincarnation. You've been on this earth before. You know what I'm saying?
That could be something you done lived or a similar situation.
Right. So different theories.
As you can see, we're on a groovy thing tonight. I hope you got your beverage. Right. I just hydrated myself.
Yes, again.
I hydrated, not lubricated. 414-231-9982. The Underground is speaking. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. It's Outlaw Radio, where you can talk about and say whatever you want. We are unbossed and unbothered.
No one will call you a conspiracy theorist.
And I'm sorry for people
who
don't
probably will, just don't worry about it.
Well, we understand that. Here's the thing. We understand here that white people conspire.
Well, that's another one of those questions and answers.
That's an answer.
Because then my question becomes, how deep does this go? And that makes you unbelieve everything they taught you to believe. So I'm just saying, for people, don't be tripping tonight because we're a little wavy, because it is snowing and shit. You might as well think about this.
Right.
Right?
So
you
might as well.
You might as well.
Right. Because, well,
But you asked the question, like, if you don't get the answers, do you feel, what did you ask? Are you upset?
You said you was comfortable.
Well, see,
but it's so much shit you don't really know what the truth is.
But you can't take
I think that's kind of the fun.
You can't take for granted being able to ask the question or being conscious enough to even ask the question. Because I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned.
Right. And I'm sure
we grew up with a lot of answers that you dare not question.
That's kind of the fun in it all. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it gives you something to think about.
So let me hit you with another.
Make your imagination work.
Let me hit you with another whopper, right? Hit like, hit share, hit follow. Yeah. Tell your mama, there go them dudes that I was telling you about. It's the Outlaw Radio clique out. But check this out. Do you know what the Mandela effect is? Here's a time warping, kind of mind altering thing. There's a such thing called a Mandela effect, in which you remember certain things a certain way and somebody else remembers them a different way. They call it the Mandela effect because there's a large group of people who distinctly remember seeing in the newspaper, seeing on the news. It's over 100,000 people say, I seen it on the news, remember when it happened. But all the rest of us are saying, no, Mandela got out of prison, became the president of South Africa, and died of natural causes. This is the Mandela effect. So you go back consumer-wise and you start looking at stuff that you thought you understood then. So like growing up, you thought a certain brand had an S on it, and it didn't. Like Kleenex, and like you say, what do you want? I want a Kleenex. It doesn't matter if it's a Kleenex or not. You just want something to wipe your nose with, right? So toilet tissue is what we call it, but they call it bathroom paper.
That's branding, right?
Well, yeah, but and so there's different understandings. There's people who say, "Oh, John Lennon is still alive. He lived," and you'd be like, "You crazy." There's other people say, "No, he was murdered in 1980." So that's the Mandela effect. You can Google it and look it up, and people will argue. Some people say they think Tupac is in Cuba.
Right. Like Tupac.
So wait. So
some say you're alive, some say he did. That's what y'all saying it is.
No, I'm talking about the Mandela effect. Y'all Google it, and then y'all can hit me back.
So what I want to touch on is because you mentioned a bunch of the different conspiracies, and so I think what you're talking about now might be on the edge of two more. Like, so how are you when you talk about mind control, or when you talk about cloning? Right. Have you done any research or understood what's going on with the 5G that they implement in all our neighborhoods and whatnot, and how it was once used as a military weapon? Right? What is stem cell research? See what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot of stuff that's above our pay grade, right? But at least we need to be asking. To have an album in 1990. Like, you don't know, right? So there's so many questions, and like I think the funny part, look at science in which they tried to break down actual physical matter, like KRS-One said, to its very last compound. It's atoms, molecules. But here's the thing, but wrap your mind around this too. When you talk about wars and people that was conquered or civilizations that was destroyed, how many libraries was burned? You see what I'm saying? How much knowledge was done away with, right? Because we see now, like they find bones that they was doing brain surgery back. So we are just now rediscovering shit, right? And so we think we're great and we give ourselves pats on the back.
Are time travelers amongst us? I know y'all came on some white boy shit tonight. Look, well, I'm just telling you. 414-231-9982. Call in and just talk about some.
All our Bell fans,
right?
Your
cousin back on the scene again. What up, Christian? How you doing, man?
You thought something was strange. Your whole life you've been saying, how the fuck that shit work? You can call tonight. 414-231-9982.
Everybody who know who Art Bell is, call in.
There's no judgment. It's a no judgment zone tonight for whatever you think is like the moon landing. There's a crazy argument that we never actually landed on the moon.
The first time it was explained to me, somebody said, he broke it down. He said, all right, you remember they showed you the moon landing? I said, yeah. He said, okay, they had the ship coming down and you saw it come down and land. Yeah, the door opened and then the ladder
Who was filming that shit?
Where did the camera come from?
Well, the ship had landed.
Right. But you never asked the question.
So he parachuted out with the camera.
Right. Hey, I think the other week we had a good one that we was talking about. You know what I mean? We always trying to figure it out.
What's that?
What can we all agree on as far as us melanated people around the world? What can we agree on as far as what to identify as?
Yeah.
What I think,
you know what I'm saying?
That's
a good question right there.
To paraphrase, I like what you said, but I would, in terms of what we're doing tonight, I'd like to paraphrase that and say, one of those ultimate questions is, who is the black man?
Who are we?
Right.
Who are you?
And
what do we identify as too?
Well, where should we go?
That's definitely in the questions. Our history is a question. Our greatness is a question. You know what I'm saying? The Dark Ages, when they whitewashed all of our, how much of our history was done away with and destroyed. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's more questions.
It's only gonna take me a couple minutes to get these dudes fired up. You just gotta stick around. I guarantee you. They'll come here like, "Oh, you goddamn right, Kevin. Let me you shut up. Let me talk." So no, man, and we just we do current events too. So I want to talk about what's going on in Mississippi, like a system-wide thing. And I'm not from Mississippi, but I understand incarceration from an outside perspective. Right. Incarceration is a problem. But supposedly the gangs have dominated this situation to the point where the posts and shit, a lot of it's in the People's News Network, which is our sister group. And like cats getting murdered, like things like 7 or 8 people dead, random rioting, we
never know or the backlash against it if it had not somebody snuck a cell phone in there in order to give us
the prisoners got phones. They've been putting it up. But the celebrities have arrived to the state of Mississippi on behalf of the prisoners, which is entirely legally viable. It's an admirable strategy, okay? And now I think there's some other celebrities who are jumping on this, but because it's just like cats just getting murdered. Like, and first of all, the living conditions are horrible. But like now, my brother Bear Meat is here. People don't know the legendary Bear Meat is in the studio, and he used to be a co-host of mine on Chocolate City. And Bear Meat has zero love for any incarcerated individual. And he used to always be like, I wouldn't give a fuck if they didn't have a room. I don't care if they got to shit and eat their own shit with mustard on it. Like, that was his perspective. And he used to be like, you did a crime, get your ass in there and do your time. Am I lying, Bear Meat?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Maybe a little bit. I tend to embellish.
He's embellishing.
Not a major
beverage.
Not, when somebody kills somebody, murder somebody, and all that, that's
right.
Hey, we got a mic over here. You come over here and get on the mic.
Come on, get on the mic, man.
Right, let's bring the legendary Bear Meat back.
I had to explain
Step over the court, man.
I had to explain myself.
Yeah. Come on in. We got Bear Meat back. Somebody put up Bear Meat is back.
What's up? Now, how you gonna do the
man from the mill?
How you gonna do this?
You gotta scoot over a little bit. You gotta scoot over. You gotta get close to Bull. I know y'all don't know each other like that. And you done gave it up on your first time on the date anyway. So.
No, I'm just saying.
Bear Meat is in the building. What's poppin'?
Hey, what up, Bear Meat?
The legendary Bear Meat.
It's just for like
The urban mountain man is what I used to call him. Look how he dressed.
Karl Malone's neighbor.
major crime. I'm talking about for like murder and all that. That's what I mean. But you know, like somebody was driving or got caught with some drugs, ain't never did nothing. Just got caught with some drugs or something. That's different. But I'm talking about like these people running around killing kids. Like dude the other day, when he bit the baby and
no love for them.
and killed dude. That's who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's who I don't care what happened to them. That's what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, I could dig that.
Real
I
talk.
think you
real
just
talk,
wanted to
real
come
talk,
back
real
on the
talk.
show.
Well, I'm glad you did.
It didn't take too many times for me to invite him. Did it? He wasn't like, nah, I'm good. I said, come on, so he said, shit. You got my best hunting gear on, nigga.
I got my best warm gear on.
Screw over a little bit more,
Stay
baby.
warm. Stay
You
warm.
make sure you get people on. He got people out there you support the
No,
music.
that's
What up,
real.
y'all?
That's real.
Lena Taylor, I got your boy.
Right. I mean, you know,
Lena.
Reggie. What's
So we talking about
show.
questions and answers, and I was talking about like, and you know, to not be profane, but to be profane at the same time. The shit you don't understand. Like, so growing up, is there such thing as ghosts? Do spirits roam the earth? Like,
Well,
I'm talking to Bear Meat
Yeah.
because he's sitting down there in the woods in Mississippi. Niggas, all you hear,
yeah, those are crickets.
yeah.
Spirits is different. Yeah, spirits here, but as far as like being able to touch and do stuff to you, you get what I'm saying?
Have
No.
people ever seen ghosts? People who say they've seen and encountered.
That
Okay, but do you
I ain't
say
never
that's
seen
not
no
true?
ghost.
And you don't believe in aliens either?
no.
Okay.
I don't believe man been to the moon.
Okay.
You ever been to Madison High School?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been around Madison.
I have.
I'm talking about the planetarium thing.
I went.
Yeah.
I went to Madison.
Okay. Now, did you see how that looked when they cut the lights off?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like you out of space.
Yeah.
So how come they can't be doing that somewhere in a warehouse or something? Got dudes bouncing around or whatever.
Well, that's the whole thing. They say it was staged in Area
Hey,
51.
look,
It's like,
this is
there
another
you
one of
go.
them questions.
get your
there
mic.
you go.
Y'all got to share that mic, man.
This is
There you
another
go.
one of them questions.
Exactly. So that's what it is to me.
I'm saying I would love for people to just be honest tonight and call in and say something you like, the conspiracy for JFK. Like, you say, yeah, of course they did it. And Malcolm said the chickens have come home to roost. We don't understand that. But let's talk about the depth of the conspiracy. You know, if there's a patsy, if there's the lone gunman theory, if you look at what was the commission that they
Colonel Commission.
the Colonel Commission that that wasn't the one for
that
Kennedy.
that was the one for
Kennedy, I can't remember. Y'all, somebody refresh me. I ain't in class, but the Kennedy, they had the Warren Commission,
Warren.
where they said it was a lone gunman with the magic bullet theory, like it's stuff like that. That some of us, how you gonna keep moving forward if you confused, right? If you really are limited in your understanding of what life is,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that nobody's ever really been able to explain. Like, it could just be a barren piece of land as far as you're concerned. You leave it alone long enough, life will sprout from it, right? So now they say, oh, it's frozen water on Mars. Oh, really? You think frozen water only exists on Earth? So
Right.
I'm, y'all, I know it's funny, man.
I didn't know you believe in aliens.
Every time I say
Brother.
that, you say the same shit. I didn't know
Brother.
you believe it.
Brother,
I keep telling you, I believe in life outside of our galaxy. I think you take the sun is a star. Galaxies.
Right.
that's what they said.
Well, that's what they said.
They told you that
That's
the
what they
sun
told
was
me.
a star.
That's why
Everybody
I had a
broke
question and I'm in need of an answer.
Mhm.
That's why I did the show.
All the time.
Thank you.
I believe in. I
be
believe,
myself.
I believe there's other life forms somewhere else, maybe in another galaxy or maybe even this galaxy. But I also believe in extraterrestrials.
That's the same thing.
Well, not really, because extraterrestrials is something that's out of space that can affect something here on Earth.
No, I don't know. That ain't what ET did.
I ain't.
That ain't what
I
ET
ain't-
did. No, I'm thinking. I'm messing with you.
Don't
Rob.
say ET.
That's what it was called. ET.
I don't know if they're little or green, but
Uh-oh.
I mean, I certainly believe that we're not the only ones here.
Okay, so everybody except for Bear Meat believe in aliens. I just want to kind of bring that together.
Well, I mean, think about we believed in more ridiculous things. At one point in time, we believed in ghosts. We called them spirit, right? We believed in a talking snakes that offers apples and
We
shit,
believed
right?
in a fat man that come down the chimney.
We
When we didn't even have a chimney.
Right. We believed in burning bushes
You
and shit,
can't do
right?
your front door, then.
Yeah, we believed
You
in
didn't
some
have no
Like,
shit.
this
you
motherfucker
know,
came through the front door.
He used to just pull
Now
up.
you just
Easter bunnies and shit. Like we believed
that
in
lay
tooth
eggs,
fairies. Right?
rabbits that lay
We believed in some
multicolored
ridiculous
eggs.
shit.
I can say I participated with all of that, but as far as believing it, I never really believed it because
But they never
had
gave
to
you an
go to-
alternative.
Wait. Well, let me ask you.
No, reason
Even the
being-
church thing with because the Bible said.
I
You
know
believe the Bible.
Even then because of my mom.
Right, okay.
My
Yes, sir.
mom was
Yes,
like,
sir.
"Well, we're gonna dye these eggs."
But that
she'd be
talking
like,
snake, though, that
you know-
talking snake was.
Well, let's talk about that because this is the assault on understanding, and this is where I turned the corner last year. Indeed, oh, my country too. It's a lie. First of all, they lied. You already lied. Don't keep talking. Sweet land of liberty. You gonna keep going? Of the sing. You just keep the land where it might. Stop lying. We wasn't saying that. They taught us that. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Remember, they used to make us do that
What's wrong
involuntarily.
with that?
It's a lie. First of
What?
all, there was no intention for anybody to be free in the United States of America except for white men. And this is not paranoia. This is not me playing the race card. This is how they set it up. Even white women didn't have rights.
Right.
It was solely for old white men. That's you. To the victor go the spoils. That has been the basis of the democracy that we established here. But you flowered it to make it look like got somebody calling in. I think this Millie Queen.
Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
You live on Outlaw Radio. Who this?
Like,
What
hey,
up, E-Walk? What's going on, man?
what's happening, man? Yes, sir. Right.
Now, why you think they been to the moon, Ernest? I've been to the moon. I'm on the moon right now. Everybody up here, we like
The moon rock. Moon rock. Yeah, I don't think they went to the moon, but I think they took a ride around outer space.
well, hold on. What happened is the
That
government.
shit blew up, didn't it?
Well, no,
It did.
no, they stopped
One
going
blew
to the
up.
moon. The shuttle blew up. The
Right.
shuttle
That's
never
what I
went
said.
to the moon.
What?
The space shuttle didn't go to the moon. It went up in orbit.
None of that shit
It was
went
setting
to the
out
moon.
sataelites.
Yeah,
No, that
None
wasn't
of
the
that
purpose.
shit ever landed.
The last
they took a
moon,
ride.
it was Apollo in the early 70s, and like 1972, and they messed up twice. Remember the white boys got stuck up there one time, supposedly. Like,
There wasn't no gas station.
Hey, I bet you that's scary as fuck.
But listen, why they stopped going?
well,
Why? Listen. Let's look at. Oh, they lost it. Right.
no, the black women did it. The sisters did it, who just died. They did the whole movie where they showed that it was black women, 3 black women.
Hidden color. Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
thought that's what you said.
I said
No,
hidden
they said
colors.
colors.
No, that was
I
Tyrese. Yeah,
misspoke, yeah.
I with the
No,
shit.
thank
So
you.
it's just
Well,
as
you
bad
know.
as you.
He already told you we was.
Like, let's go, Jason. Fuck it. We don't even know what the fuck we talking about. Good looking man. But no, my brother, check this out. Think about this, because we talking about questions and answers, right? Like as a black man, you sit down, you get in yourself. I don't know what you got to do to relax. Maybe you know, whatever. And you in your thing, and you say, man, what's my truth? What do I understand? What do I know to be solid information that I can move on and progress off of? And when you start thinking about it, you be like, nothing, because I don't know shit. Everything I think. This is something regarding yourself. But so we talked about the Mandela effect. We talked about the moon landing. We talked about deja vu. Never found one.
I don't disbelieve it.
No,
What? No, you said no. Why?
because
Because what?
they ain't never seen them. They always got a hairy little. As good as cameras are nowadays,
Yeah.
you tell me
These motherfuckers.
They
got
still can't get a
eyeballs.
good picture of Bigfoot. He always just ran by or he in a hurry. It'd be shady.
Bigfoot was late
He
for
gotta
work.
pee. I gotta pee.
Right, it's like
I got a beef jerky commercial to do.
now that's a good picture of him. The beef jerky commercial.
Go ahead, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. So what if we are? What if we are experiments of some aliens who watching from a galaxy away, and we think this is life, but we
Y'all tripping.
we on some other shit.
Tripping.
Us an hour. Is that the
The
word?
majority of us can't even swim. Don't talk about we in a fish tank.
Hold on, I can't hear Ernest. What you say, brother? I'm sorry. You know we appreciate the love, man.
Love, brother. Yeah.
Hey, and you know you got your sweatshirt on the way, brother. Oh man, much love. 414-231-9982. I know we are pontificating to the extreme tonight. But
In the fish tank.
what else you gonna do? It's Saturday night. It's
Question
snow everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Smoke up and drink up, beverage. My cup getting low.
Pontificate in the
Ponder,
fish tank.
Yeah.
Don't get no pontification. on
Life
me.
is a terrarium.
A terrarium. Dude, it's true.
Yeah, man. So I'm just saying, man. And the celebrities up there now, they want to sue Jay-Z and Yo Gotti, and you know, but like this is prison. So I kind of brought Bear Meat in because he don't have love for prisoners. He'd be like, fuck them, let them die, or whatever. Try to explain, but it means the same shit. So, bull, you've been in the joint. Not to put you out there, like,
Hey man,
because you done said it on the
listen,
show.
man, you already know, man. I love my journey. I love every part of it.
So I
you know?
want you to talk about that. Pimp the mic. Let me talk about yo being in there and saying, yeah, but you was in there watching TV and shit, kicking it. And
Yeah, I was kicking back, kick back, hang this shit,
okay,
right? People who do hang this shit, they don't give a fuck about nobody's life around them. They don't give a fuck about the lives in the community. You see how they acting out here. Fuck them. Until they get that shit right, you know what I'm saying? Really. I mean, you're going to keep acting like this, man. We got to do something with you. We got to get rid of you. You putting everybody else in danger. We all got kids out here growing up, man. Y'all driving like you ain't got no sense, shooting every motherfucking where. You know what I'm saying? Shooting women, men killing kids. And I mean, god damn.
right.
These motherfuckers, yeah, fuck them. Let us put them in jail. You ever seen some of them toughest prison movies or shows? I saw something somewhere in Jamaica, some motherfucker, and motherfuckers just go for it. You know what I mean? The top motherfuckers, they eat first. You know what I mean?
How you
I
feel
think it
about
should
that,
be like that.
And we damaged, right? We damaged people. They didn't
Right.
they done did a lot of damage to us. We don't know who we are, we came from, what we are, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. You want to give everybody an opportunity for redemption to come back around, and you know what I'm saying? But I do believe that there's a certain percentage of folk out there, man, that's broken and can't be fixed. And that's why I tell you in a minute, I love black people who love black people, because if you black and you don't love yourself and you don't love your mama or somebody that look like you don't love black people, to me, you're broken.
Yeah,
So
you know
what-
what I mean? You ain't no good for
Let me
us.
tell you, I won't go as far as to say what should happen to them, but I tell you what, they won't align themselves with me in any kind of
But
way.
I'm just saying,
I will-
you got it figured out as a black man.
Uh-huh.
You doing your thing.
Mhm.
Somebody just come grab one of your daughters. All of us are broken, and you know we've been trotted up on and ran over. We was misused and slavery, the whole spiel. I'm saying, what should happen to that person?
Well, first of all, that person would fall in, because you didn't finish the rest of my sentence, because I did say that some folk are just broken and can't be fixed.
Right.
So I would think somebody that can do something like that to a child, you know what I'm saying, I would say is pretty damn broken, wouldn't you say?
Right.
So I guess the bottom line is you asking me, do I believe in a death penalty? Yes, sir. There are certain things that you can do where you deserve to die.
Okay. So being punitive has its points, right? Like, because that's all prison is really. It's not about rehabilitation. It's about being punitive.
No, listen, rehabilitation is a hoax, right? That whole thing is a system of finance. benefits. You see what I'm saying? Down to the telephone system, down to the food that's delivered there, down to the free work that they get out of it. You know, it's a money tree, and whole lot of branches, whole lot of people, whole lot of businesses get paid. Even the people just being there and for the taxes,
the janitor,
the census. So it's a money tree. It's not. It's
somebody who owns a gas station right outside the place.
It's never been about rehabilitation.
I agree.
Listen, if you do something, if certain things you can do, you should be castrated. There's certain things that you can do, and you should lose your life. Certain things you can steal, you can take, you should lose your fucking hand. That's how.
Wait, you on some Old Testament?
Listen, but here's the thing: they do that in other countries right now.
I know, ain't gotta get with that shit.
But listen, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Well, I'm kind of on the fence, right? A little bit. Because it's like
rape a kid.
I ain't talking about that.
Those they included. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm talking about as far as the rehabilitation. Like I understand that I know that the rehabilitation that they had now is not working. Right. They needed another form in this Western culture. This is something that we get from our culture.
Okay.
And there is change in that. You can reprogram your mind. You can change your life around. You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't saying that if they do this shit, we give them the opportunity to turn their life around and they come back. No, it still should be some drastic shit for their ass.
Well, I would say this.
You made this choice to do that.
Within the way they educate individuals who are incarcerated, right? Because the object of it is to reduce recidivism, right?
Right.
And because recidivism is the worst part. And
what is recidivism?
Recidivism is basically you've been in there, you come out, you reoffend, you go back. Yeah. So from now on out, you can't stay out. You're just going to be institutionalized.
And you say they don't want that to happen?
No, I'm saying the object of this, you know that if your prison system is effective, if recidivism is high or if it's low.
Right.
And in Wisconsin, especially like even in 53206, it's the highest that it is in the country. Mm-hmm. Recidivism is super high, meaning in and out, in and out, in and out.
So if you know that, don't you think that is several pink people out there whose job it is to know that as well, and been making decisions accordingly to our detriment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, you think about a prison. First of all, look at the market. This ain't no dairy shit no more.
No, it's about prison.
Nah, right. So what's sustaining northern Wisconsin?
Prison.
Right.
Black labor.
Right.
Black and brown labor.
Everybody from the janitor to the social worker got a job.
Right.
And they pay money, they work for the state.
Real talk.
So this is what Outlaw Radio is about tonight. You say, is there a conspiracy against the black man? Some people say no. Some black people say no. You're playing the race card.
And they're broken in a different way.
Some of them got more money than all four of us.
Those niggas is broken in a different.
Some of them is living so blue blood right now.
That's why they broke.
Because no matter what goes on in this country, in this world, the black man is always the one to get tested. He always the one that's got the worst. He always at the bottom, no matter what he up against. He could be up against a Mexican. He could be up against or whatever. The black man is always considered to be. We're the ones that's, you know, we basically, you know, we run the prison. You know,
we don't run it. Latinos run it.
I'm talking about as far as them making money.
Population,
yeah.
Our participation rate is way up.
Right, real high. So I don't understand why we got to be the one that's the worst out of everything. And no matter what, I mean, what they say, we've been free
since the 70s. That's what I say.
Since the 70s.
And that's what they say.
That's what I say.
Now it take you 12 years to go to school.
They say 1865. I say 1975.
We're not free now.
Okay.
And it take you 12 years to go through school.
Their school system.
Okay. Now 12 years, you're supposed to have at least a little common sense. By the time you graduate, now you in the world, you figure out what's going on, this and that. But since the 70s to now, we still got to live off, man. My grandfather was a slave, and that's why I'm messing up now, because I'm speeding.
That's your answer.
I don't get it.
That's a straw man argument.
Okay. Straw man?
Yeah. That's when you present a fact here and argue against it, but the fact ain't true. Like you talk about these black people, these hate. Let me ask you a question. Outside of what you've heard about on the radio or read about in the news from Yahoo or CNN or the black people that you know, when you walk out your house, the black people that you come into contact with, do you know any of those people that you just described? And fuck if they can breathe or if they get water because they're so terrible. How many of those people do you actually know?
He didn't actually say that kind of
maybe about 1 or 2.
1 or 2 out of all the people that you know, right?
Right.
But
I know.
But when right? Because the other all of the information, they give us our education. They go whatever is in the libraries, they can determine what's in there and what's not. They determine what to put in the box. So everything you know, even if you have an opinion on Mike Tyson or Michael Jordan, you never met him, you never had a conversation with him. You only know him from the media. So what's real is when you go outside your door and the black people that you come into contact with is that
people, cars and all that. That wasn't the media.
No, that was one incident. But how many black people drove by you that didn't crash into a pole and that wasn't stealing, that was going home from work that you're not acknowledging? So let's not take
but
this.
the ones that is the problem is the ones that's doing all this stuff.
That's a minority though. So let's
but
not.
They're my people. So I'm supposed to be.
Let me tell you, they might be your people, but them is the people that I'm telling you is not mine.
Yeah,
they're not my people.
They still black, so you might say they're not your
because
people.
You got black.
You don't fool with them.
No,
but they still really your people.
No, they're not, because you got black skin don't make you black.
I think as we grow on the spiritual journey,
that's whether they're your people.
Whether it's just planting a seed.
But if they're not your people, why would you care?
The ones that's acting up or whatever, they may not know.
Why
where their life path what they done been on as far as right now, they may not know. So you can't fix something that you don't know about.
Why?
So you telling
to them
me,
it's normal.
You telling me they don't know that they don't got no business driving down Capitol in a stolen car with kids in the car without kids?
I want to know why everybody
and kill
Here's an extension of.
They don't know that's wrong.
I want to know why everybody with black skin is my people. Why everybody that's black
everybody with white skin is white people?
I think
that's not true.
To take this even a questions argument to a higher level, something to say hit like, hit share, hit follow. But like, just we got stuck on the cars, the driving, the stolen cars, right?
Well, if you're from the 414, that's big here, right?
Well, it is. Yeah. But today yesterday we found out that there was a 29-year-old, a 16-year-old, supposed to be a basketball coach. Charged not just about the car, it's about the kind of individuals that we're producing. Like we referenced earlier, you got the baby mama, little baby. You bring the baby to Children's Hospital, drop it off and leave. The baby got 2 broken arms, nipples bit off. This is the kind of sickness that exists within our community, right? Mm-hmm. So when I look at an individual like that, I say, there's really no, you can repent to God, but I'm not God. God forgives, I don't. So to me, yeah, you should lose your life. You should be castrated, whatever. Old Testament is criminally in the court. I was like, this quality, now you get your balls cut off in Midtown.
You should be able to pick.
Right.
You castrated or die.
Right. Which one you want?
Which one you want?
Right. So, but that's an extension of questions and answers. And in 15, 20 years, maybe I got a chance to really sit and say, I ask God to forgive me. And my sister, I come out and he goes out and hugs his victim's mother. And the mother says, I forgive you, baby.
But
you know what I'm saying? No, she hugs him and forgive you.
Yeah, he should have
killed her. I'm making up his accent. I forgive you.
Right, he should have killed her.
Racial relations in America.
No, he just America. See, the whole issue is, for one, with the prison system, they making money off of it. And it ain't never been nothing in history that a white man can make money off of that he gonna stop. I don't care how bad it is, it can be bad. Now, so we know that ain't gonna stop. The best way to stop it is stop going to prison. Okay?
Boycott the prison.
Especially the black man to be meek and humble, and they love that.
You know, humble's not a word. That's a black person word.
Humble.
Thank you.
Be soft and
right.
Yes, and forget. And
well, now you running into the dumbing down of masculinity.
But that's the only way.
Like the aggressive black militancy, and then some people be like, you know, you vegan. What she tell us, bull? She said, being vegan is cornball. She said he killed Malcolm. I was like, damn, I went to cut the show off. But no, so it's so many different variations of opinion and thought. And there's so many different questions that don't have answers. And it's easy to get lost in the sauce. So you find people who realize it's not a trend, it's a lifestyle. Like being vegan, because you reinvent all the recipes of all the shit you've ever eaten in a vegan way. And it's not cost money to say, well, let me make these shrimp vegan, or let me make a vegan pot roast. It ain't just as simple as putting some broccoli and some gravy in a pan. If you get a real vegan, they have a substitute for everything you've ever eaten. They have a vegan version. And I said that because Anna and the Next Level Vegans came over here with the vegan seafood boil. Jason and I did a real seafood boil. We have crab legs, corn, eggs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chef Monique Brown. We got it in. And then I did the vegan, and it tasted like shrimp. It tasted like, and she had a vegan cake, a caramel cake.
So it was basically soup.
No, it tasted just like what you would, but she said, no, it's made out of this. Because she didn't want to tell me how she made the shrimp, remember? But she said it had what was it? It was like asparagus or something.
No, it was a soy. It was made out of soy.
But no, it was a vegetable that she mixed with it. She said it was like
Secret.
asparagus.
She didn't want to tell you.
She told me kind of part of it.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you don't support veganism either.
I feel that if you want to be vegan, that's your business. But me, I'm not vegan.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat meat. You know, I watch what I eat, this and that, try to make sure it's straight and this and that. But
You eat wild meat though. Like,
yeah, I
you
eat
like
that too.
rabbits and raccoons and
Yeah, he
squirrels.
was running, he was healthy, he didn't have no sores on him and nothing. I seen him, I said, ooh, he look good. Killed him, brought him home, cleaned him up, cut him up. I know everything that happened to him.
Is
And
that
if he had ate some poison or something, guess what? He sure wouldn't be running. He'd be laid up or a hole in his side or something. So I know he's straight. So yeah, I eat wild meat.
Shout out to Connie Bechter. She's a white woman who lives in Waukesha or Kenosha, but she always supports the show. She said, vegan, gay or not, black, white, all of it, open your ears to it all and listen. You don't have to subscribe, but at least listen. I totally agree.
She's involved too. Like she's on the People's News Network.
Yeah, somebody offended her because she must have been commenting and it was like such a white ass up or something.
No.
See, that was stupid.
That's what I was saying.
No,
She was like,
If you listen to what she's saying,
I kick him out the group.
she'll go at her own people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She'll go at her own people. So
But I feel like white people can't speak on our issue.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
well, first of all, you got to understand that they are going to have an opinion whether you like it or not.
Well, I understand.
And so we would like her to
I understand.
to align with our opinion. Right?
Personally, I don't mind if they feel like they want to help the struggle.
You know, I'm talking to those people
Buy
that
some herbs or something.
Yeah,
What's your number? What's your number?
414-949-2122. Nature's Herbs. Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements.
You got excited.
That's a no look pass.
Right. No look
Hey,
back.
hold it up. I get to
But yeah, Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements.
detox.
And we got the Vitality Mix right here.
You do the fibroids.
We got the fibroid
You got
mix,
the
the liver
elderberry?
cleanse, the elderberry syrup, kidney cleanses. We got it all. We got blood cleansers. We could get you some energy. We got sea moss and bladder wreck. Oh my goodness, whatever you want, I'm telling you, just find me and I could get it for you.
Now, are those herbs grown by people or just
They grown by Kamar.
Some of them are.
some of the herbs
Some
are grown
of them
by
are.
black folks?
Yeah, it's right here.
Right.
We got burdock root in there. The burdock root is a root. I'm gonna tell you where it comes from.
Out your yard.
Remember when you was a kid and you get the sticky bug stuck on you? That's
Yeah, the big
burdock.
green.
So that's the burdock.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You take the root out. Now, you agree it's antifungal, it's antibiotic, it's anti-cancer, it helps you with gout, it's good for your skin. Like I say, it cleanses your blood. Then we got blue vervain. The blue vervain gonna clear out your respiratory area, push mucus out your body. It also helps with your blood. It's good. It soothes your nerves, so it can help your mood. It's all type of shit, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. This detox right here,
And the
this detox right here.
everybody talk about detox, but you gotta understand the best way to consume it is to make a tea,
Yeah.
which my understanding
Make-
tastes like
make-
ass. So you gotta figure out a way to sweeten it. It's just like the
It's a
ca-
tea.
like-
Well, it don't
do,
taste
'cause
like
you
it
got-
don't taste like ass.
you got sea moss too, right?
You probably heard that from somebody who
Jason
ain't
told me that.
familiar with it, really. You
Is
know
that
what I'm
putting
saying?
you out there?
But
Is
this
that
is the thing.
No,
But here's
that's not
here's the
really
thing.
accurate. But go ahead.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. You know what I mean? It's about finding your spot. Because sometimes when people get into it, they put too much herbs in there and they make it too strong.
Right.
So now you know what I mean. It's overpowered.
And actually,
you got to kind of build up to that taste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell people to start out with just a little bit of herbs to your water.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that way you can see where you at, where you can see how much you could take.
And ass is good.
And
And
then you
evil
flavor.
is good.
You tell you
When
what,
you get you some evil ass, woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you flavor. Yeah.
that you can flavor this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, drop a pineapple core in the water.
But I
when
want
you
to
boil.
talk to you. I said that because you talked about sea moss.
Sea moss is
Yeah,
nasty.
sea moss, yeah, it does. It tastes horrible.
It's nasty.
But
right.
that's why I put it in the
But again-
capsules for you.
Right. Either that or you can even get, with the flavors, the different seasonings and whatnot.
Mhm.
I don't know. I get spearmint, right?
Okay.
Because mint usually put away all
Oh
that shit, right? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
When I make my sea moss tea, I use lemon. You know what I mean? Like,
lemon. It's
just like how you would use lemon to take the ocean flavor out of salmon.
Mhm.
Well, it does the same thing with sea moss.
Don't
It
it
takes
your
the ocean
stomach up?
taste out. No, it's good for your stomach.
That's
That's 2 out of the 102 minerals you made out of.
Mhm.
So just knowing that alone, you know what I mean, to let you know that it's good for everything.
That's some
for you.
Dr. Sebi shit.
That's
right
every
there.
every mineral in your body damn near right there. You know what I mean? You feeding everything. It's good for your brain, it's good for your nervous system, it's good for your hair, it's good for your eyes, your teeth, your skin, your lungs, your heart, everything.
Shout out to vegans and people who drink sea moss tea.
Yeah.
414-231-9982.
youth.
Or drink vodka, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or beer, right? All
I'm
that.
telling you, getting to them herbs, man.
This
It's to
what-
find the youth.
This
I'm
what it
telling
look
you.
like when you give your guy a chance to plug himself and he take full advantage of
Well,
it. Holla at Nature in the turn,
I
man.
admire all that, but I'm gonna have to leave y'all because I gotta go to Burger King. I'm gonna go get me a double whopper and a large soda.
Get an impossible one.
Oh,
You
don't
know
do
what?
that. That made me
It really was no difference to me. So
But
I
it
don't,
wasn't no difference.
I don't believe
Except
in
for
that.
that estrogen.
Yeah.
And that make you what?
Your beard didn't grow in
It,
like
it
that.
make you
Yeah.
more feminine.
Yeah. You know.
With the
Stay away
estrogen.
from that shit, y'all.
Just
Hey.
like the soy and all of the flaxseed.
Yeah.
You
Right.
a vegan.
I don't know about the flaxseed.
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
Hey, but
flaxseed
you know what
is
though? Quiet as it's kept, man. We've been knowing this shit. Like everything that's at these fast food restaurants, we know it ain't no good for us.
That's what I'm
already.
saying. You a vegan, so you saying the Impossible Whopper is not something that people who want to come
That ain't
in.
nothing you want to
It's
eat.
still a GMO.
It's
It's
ge-
still,
yeah,
it's still
exactly.
a GMO.
Man, listen,
Which is what we're trying to get away
They got genetically modified. They got genetically modified hemoglobin
Okay.
in an impossible meat. My understanding, hemoglobin comes from blood.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I tell you right there, this ain't nothing that you want to consume. You might as well get a Whopper.
Questions and answers. That's what I'm saying. Eating trends. All the way from the Atkinson diet, from the Dick Gregory drink that you would drink. What do I need to do to lose weight? How do I change my physiology? Like, should I not eat this or not eat that? That's not me. That's him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Right. So yeah, I'm saying so questions and answers. That's why I want people to participate in the show and let me know, because it's not just about what I think. It's not just about what my co-hosts think. You hear us give our opinions just because we're willing to do that. That doesn't mean we won't entertain yours. So you can call in 414-231-9982, wherever you are. Please hit like, hit share, hit follow. Subscribe to the show. We need the support. Just in the light, I feel like I need to lighten it up. So I would say tomorrow, the Packers. I'm going on some sports shit. The Packers got to play the Seahawks. We're seeing the Vikings. I'm just happy as long as the Vikings are out. I hate the Vikings more than I hate the
You
Bears.
don't like Minnesota?
Right, I hate the Vikings more than I hate the Bears. And the Bears they wasn't even in the playoffs.
They're right by Dakota.
Right. Oh yeah, right there. And you know what the funny thing is, I don't like the Vikings, but I love the city of Minneapolis. I love St. Paul. I've been there. It's beautiful. Oh, come on, man. It's one of the
Hey, it is a dope town, man. I got a chance to go ride around.
Voluptuous buildings.
I hit a whole lot of vegan restaurants while I was out.
I hit a whole lot of vegan restaurants
Yeah,
too.
I
That's
bet
what
you
you want to
did.
call it.
I hit a whole lot of vegan restaurants.
I bet you did.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good food.
Yes. Yeah.
Yum yum.
Good eating, baby.
Yeah. That's a good town.
That's
for
what I
me.
hear. That's what I
You know
hear.
what I mean? That's a good town for me.
Right.
So I hope the Packers beat the Seattle Seahawks tomorrow. That's all the smoke and mirrors. And realistically, right now, you look at anything that's written journalistically that has integrity, it's talking about the NFL's problem with black men. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you have a Rooney Rule. We still understand we can play in the league, but we can't own the teams. we understand that we can play in the league, but we can't play on our own terms. It's the most it's not slavery, because I think that's an extremity to call pro football players slaves. But I do understand the bought and sold mentality. And I know a lot of those brothers, and this is the thing about football players that people don't understand. It's such a demanding game, and it takes so much that in order to be a good football player, you have to be all in. So you're really not thinking about the social until you get some pro players, and I think that's what happened with Kyle. So you get when I say to a brother, "Hey, nah, man, the NFL's wrong," he gonna say, "But what should I do? Since I've been 5 years old, this has been my dream." But things play out. You find out that it ain't what you thought it was, and you end up like this. You share that Thanksgiving like, "Oh, I used to run the ball." So I'm just saying.
Can you imagine?
Okay.
Can you imagine? Close your eyes. Can you imagine a Jewish chess league, right?
Right.
Where the players of the chess is Jews, and they are the talent, right? And you tune in to, but somehow another group of people make the money off the Jews, and they own the teams and the Jews don't, and they manage the teams and the Jews don't. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine an Asian hair salon league?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm just pulling shit out the sky.
I know.
Where they shit starts to earn millions of dollars because people are tuning in to watch these Asians perform this craft, and yet no Asians own any of the teams, and none of the Asians are at the top executive level. Can you imagine? You can't even imagine it, because this would not happen to anybody but us. So as much as I'm gonna get on anybody who watches the distraction, who is distracted by the distraction, really the power is in the hands of the players. What are they? 80% of the league? 85. So until they can, identify themselves as, what I'm saying, the same as the people that's getting killed in the street, the same as the children and the women that's going missing, until they can identify themselves with that, it don't really matter.
Okay. You good?
Yes, sir.
We got a caller. You live on Outlaw Radio. What's good? Hello, you're live on Outlaw Radio. What's good?
Peaceful.
Who that is?
She ain't at work tonight. Who the hell you think it is?
I'm with the shits tonight. You ain't bothering us.
But.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the comment I made that whites are the biggest criminals on the planet.
They reported that?
That just happened. I just saw that in the thing.
Hey, wait. Where did you make this comment at?
On the show. I just saw it in the chat room.
I just made it a second.
Yeah. I didn't know nobody reported it though. I couldn't tell nobody reported it.
Let her say what they blocked her from saying. Hey.
Please tell me, because you shouldn't be getting no block from no comments you make on my show.
Real talk.
I got the screenshots right here. The whites are the biggest criminals on the planet, was just reported on your podcast, because I haven't even been on Facebook today.
Well, I tell you what, hold on.
They're on you.
Hold on. No, yeah, they're doing you, but hold on. For your sake, I'll reiterate. Pink people, pink devils are the biggest thieves, murderers, killers, demons, devils that ever walked the face of this planet. All you got to do is look at any interaction they've had with any other group of people and see what happens. So, now block me.
It's the truth. So when you see the truth, report it if I say something that's a lie.
Right.
Because you'll never hear a lie come out of my mouth, but I'm going to tell whoever and whoever needs to hear this. Black first. Black only, black always with me.
Black first.
Anybody else.
Hey, we love black people who love black people.
That's right. Hold on.
That's right.
And just to even the reason I don't know who reported it, I'm shocked and appalled that you said that. But just paraphrase, not even paraphrase, but just to agree with what you said. Who can argue that white people are not the engineers of all of the greatest crimes that have ever happened. I always say this: behind every great fortune is a white dude, and behind every great fortune is a great crime.
A white crime.
And behind every great crime is a white person.
Yeah, hello, somebody. Yeah.
So
behind the birth of a murder car, the whites were the rejects from Europe. They were the criminals, the murderers, the rapists, the thieves that were thrown out of their country. They came across the waters, took land from our native people, then it went to Africa and then it went everywhere else.
Talk about
they are the biggest criminals.
Real talk.
They're in Iran now, messing with people.
well, I'm just saying, like, this is not for anybody who's even white watching the show. This is not a paranoia. This is not black people saying, you know, devils or like. This is informed information of on your track record, and your track record, as far as my historical research goes, is you've been shooting, looting, stealing, killing, willing and dealing ever since you ever showed up. So it's not a paranoia.
We just now peeling back the layers to find out what you've been doing to the children all these years. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know why you don't. You should agree with me.
I'm not even understanding the psychosis of these people, because now you are in a church and y'all been messing with these little boys and messing with people, and we have not heard a word.
Right.
No conviction.
Amen.
No nothing. The only thing that happened was a plane full of them fell out the sky, which was, hey, was that God?
It wasn't.
I don't know.
Hey,
You sound like you saying the chickens come home to roost.
no, we right. Right. Talk about it now, and then praising God with you on Sunday.
They messing with these children's booty.
That's how the sister talk.
Hey, we should have a T-shirt made.
That's a good one.
Never
Messing with them kids' booty.
Never.
Well, you know, you got to open shot. You outlaw. Shout out to St. Louis
Real
and
talk.
the Black
Real
Panther
talk.
Corner.
Real talk.
And all y'all down there that's invested in consciousness and progressiveness for death. I want to say that. I want to reinforce what you said. Like, because everybody can say whatever they want to say. If they ever block you, you got the number. Yeah, you got the number. So if they ever block you, you know, you just call the show.
Real
you
talk.
can bypass that.
All right, I will.
That's
Right
what's
now.
happening. Power to the people.
Goodness.
Right. So it's just like this whole thing with black people now. We should have our own platforms. We should be able to say what we want without them interrupting us. It's just like black people are not allowed to think out loud. You know what I mean? And that's one unwritten rule in this country. You're not allowed to think out loud. You better keep that shit to yourself. This is what I'm saying. Questions and answers. I don't have most of these answers because I've never been, as a black man, I'm speaking metaphorically, I've never been in a position where I could stand up to the powers that be and say, hey, man, well, why is this and why is that? Da-da-da-da. Because it would just, your explanation would make sense, and you would eventually have to figure out reparations or retribution. Right? So those are the two questions. It's not about should we get reparations. It's like, how will the white man ever get retribution for what he done to us as people of color until he gives us our reparations?
That's one thing I got against black people who talk about forgiveness and forgiving white people. How can you forgive somebody who never asked you for it?
Even black people, not just white, but even black people who wrong you.
They never asked you for forgiveness.
Right.
I understand you getting over it, right? I understand you coming to terms with it where it's not eating you up inside as far as an anger, but I don't forgive no motherfucker that didn't even ask me for forgiveness,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. So if it's a unrepentable, you know,
Unrepentant.
Right,
You didn't repent, you don't care.
I don't want you to forgive.
You know, I look at it more like I'm forgiving myself for falling for the shit in the first place.
Okay.
That's where my forgiveness comes in. You know what I'm saying? So the forgiveness.
Right.
But even when you do that, you get your certain.
Got that.
There's a lot of.
I'm
There's
mad
a
at
lot of.
myself.
Right. There's a lot of.
One shame on
But there's a lot of
Right.
inventory in being able to be on that with yourself and say, let me, you know what, whoever I've done wrong. Not that I'm looking for him, but if I run across him, I want to show him, hey, I'm in a different place, my brother. That's not me, whatever I've done. Now, unless it's, you know, if you got to leave, if it's on site, you don't go over there trying to apologize. They're going to shoot you. Wait 10, 15, 20 years or something, and then come back.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, man. Now when I see niggas who I used to get into it with and shit, it's a lot easier to talk to them now
Yeah.
than it was
Because
back
I'm
then,
going to catch you
man.
getting your little girl
You
some
know what
ice
I mean?
cream.
And at this point in life, man, this is what I like to tell kids, man. At this point in life, when you get this old, you don't want no trouble.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You ain't trying to beef no more, so it really wasn't even worth it in the
Make
beginning.
me shoot you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
How many of our friends losing their lives over this shit? And then 15 years from now, we ain't even gonna be mad at each other no more.
That's why I said black people need to get back to an understanding of conflict resolution. We really got to figure out a way to fix our disagreements so that they won't become violent or they won't become aggressive. And see, it destroys movements. Historically, it's always it's SNCC, SCLC, us versus the Panthers, all these, you know, all these the talented 10, the Black Boule.
That's plotted. That's
right, but I'm just saying it goes back because the one thing that was in common with all those situations were we were never able to come man to man, mano a mano, and say, hey, brother, listen, fuck all the bullshit. That's me and you.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro.
What was the real problem with that we was some other people that wasn't us got involved that looked like us?
Yes, that inside.
So with this when I get to talking about black people versus niggas, like, and I just was talking to Barry. Everybody that got black skin ain't my brother. It's about what you believe in, what you doing. Are you moving the same direction I'm moving? I got blood brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And
But
I got you see what I'm saying? And I got that since I don't love Jesus and lick his ass, you know what I'm saying? They don't fuck with me. You see what I'm saying? But I got homeboys and partners and shit. You know what I'm saying? That is more brotherly to me than my own people. So I don't give a fuck just because you got black skin. If you're not if you're not working in unison of what I'm working towards and trying to leave behind what I'm trying to leave behind, then fuck you.
No doubt.
You can be the blackest nigga. It don't matter.
And no, right. What he said, I agree with you. I'm rocking with you. I totally get what you said. And thus, you don't get the chance to hear us really be honest about how we feel until we create our own platforms. Because they're never going to let us tell our story. They're never going to allow us to be 100% honest because it will show their iniquities. It will show their insecurity. It will show their ineptitude. So we have to build these platforms ourselves. This is why we do the People's Network. Now, this for me, I guess right now what you call us racialists because we approach the conversation of black and white a lot on the show. And you hear us just throwing those verbal darts about black and white because that's the best thing going. Besides pimping and hoeing in this country right now, that's one of the biggest issues is race relations. But here's the sister from here. She was biracial, Meghan Markle. The storybook. She met Prince. What's his name? Edward. He's a monarch. He's from England. He was he was in love with her. Prince Harry. Prince Harry, who's a descendant is Prince Diana's son, actually. So he's European. And I don't even know why they still have kings and queens, but they do. But she's black and she moved over there, and Serena with the I Got a White Man Club went over there to the wedding, and I'm so happy. And it was just a good old Negro day. Dave actually had a son, and due to the level of bullshit that this sister has to put up with, because people don't understand, good old England is still racist as hell. Their policies politically right now, they have removing immigrants and people of color, the African people it's even worse because that's England. That's their shit, right? At least in America, we can say, y'all didn't build all this shit over there. Like, we did build that, right?
No, they didn't.
Well, I'm just saying, this is what they say.
From over there. When you're talking King James is a black man who was king of Ireland, you know what I'm saying? Britain, England, right. So no,
I'm just saying
we was kings over there. They stole that too. No, I'm sorry.
So this is the extension of why they still have a monarchy.
They lied over there too, like they're lying over here.
So what happens is they've been so racist.
Answer the phone.
No, man, you gotta call the show. Don't call this line. Right? You gotta call the show.
They got your personal number like
No, I'm calling you.
Call the show phone. But no, so they have a monarchy, but they have been subjected to so much racism.
Yes.
And they've called the little baby a monkey, and it's just overtly racist. And the sister said, look, I can't take this shit no more. I'm about to go. And the prince said, not only am I going with you, but I'm going to give up all this bullshit.
She will die.
Well, we don't know.
Let me tell you something about them pink ass. Listen, Okay, you want we was on off on some conspiracy theorists.
Well, we started out with questions and answers. I'm just
I'm gonna go out on a fairy. I'm gonna say this is a fairy tale, right? Just let me tell this little fairy tale story. In this fairy tale, those people over there, they're not even really human.
okay.
Right? When you're talking about that, you didn't understand why they have the kings and queens. They trying to maintain a bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Blue blood, right?
Oh yes. So the fact that they even let her in, right, as the royal bed wench,
And it was controversial from the start.
so okay, so listen, she will die. They will kill her. And for her to get out, and because anything she doesn't see, they will kill her.
Okay, but now to your credit, I do believe Diana knew something.
Absolutely.
But I don't think. But Diana was given the keys because she was a white woman. I think this sister's been so restricted, and I think they have made sure she saw nothing. They're saying, and they don't even know because they said, "Now we just gonna move somewhere in South Africa." The queen, she's like 300,000 years old. What is her name? Was Elizabeth?
That's a stolen ass
Whatever her
name.
name is. The old ass. I don't know how to keep up this shit.
Decrepit ass bitch.
But I'm saying that's somebody's grandma.
And yeah, Satan.
So she said, "Now we gotta have a meeting because he's very high up. They're considered senior members of the royal family. It's a big deal for him to say, no, I'll give up all of y'all on some bullshit. I'll give up all this. I got a mixed son.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. So I get down on interracial relationships because I'll be like, well, you only doing that because you are under the false belief that will improve your life. You have to do you and then get with somebody to improve your life. Not, I get a white girl, my credit score will go up.
It does.
You'll get a poor white trash. No, some of these dudes got some poor white trash ass trailer park white chicks.
But they got
they credit is worse.
they got a house full of
Because
renter
they're not a
center,
white girl,
renter
they
center
wish-
shit.
Some of them do. Some of them don't have sheep shit from white.
Queen Elizabeth, who was her parent that passed down the crown to her?
Her dad, he died in the war.
Okay, who passed it to him?
Well, it's a long descendant. I don't know all the kings. I just know how she got it because she took it really young.
But this is my
because he
whole thing.
died at
If you
war.
ask the question enough, at some point or another, there's no answer. Because at some point it goes from a black monarchy to a white monarchy.
England?
Yes,
What's
sir.
his name? Let's tell me what's his name.
First of all, King James,
I didn't
Let's
know
start-
King
let's start
James was
there.
ever king of England.
Ireland and Britain.
Who's this? This is Millie Queen. Okay, go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you.
King of to go at the Pope. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm
I'm saying I'm
It's the
learning. I
It's
didn't
the
know.
same one that redid the Bible.
He didn't redo it, as opposed to Latin, where only certain people were taught Latin. So he had it. He made it because he was king and he was opposing the Pope. The Pope was just trying to keep the Bible secret. He went and authorized that it could be read and translated so it could be read by the common man. He didn't rewrite it. He had it. He authorized that it could be translated.
The Black Panther Corner is loving you on YouTube right now. Look,
That's
she
what's
got
up.
it lit up. She says, "Speak."
Forgive me. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't know that. I said I didn't know. I don't. You ain't in trouble with shit.
Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Never. I didn't. What the fuck? I didn't. He pushed me and shit. She got me in that feeling.
Let me say, I would come back, but I don't even know the song.
But I won't like. I think it's big. It says a lot about race relations. Like I said, I go against interracial relationships all the time. But I got to give it up to the young prince, whoever he is, for saying, "Nah, this is my girl. Like this my wisdom. I got a baby. Like I got a son. I just want to give him just that credit for white or black. I just think he's looking at it like, dude. First of all, I can do this shit. I don't need y'all. All I need is her and my son. This is all the shit you done gave me. It's the most important thing I've ever found. Now, I'm not cheerleading the love story because I hate all the soft shit, right? Boys and Men, I was happy when they broke up. And I hope they both broke up because it was the end of the road. But I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Put up on man.
I thought it was cool.
It was.
I thought it was a cool
You
story.
made me
I
laugh.
thought it was a cool story.
Wait.
So shout out to them, man. Big
So,
ups to
but
them.
wait. If you believed in the Bible at any point in time, so we understand the Bible ain't true. It's been plagiarized, right? It's been
I'm
plagiarized.
not gonna say it's not true. I think it's just a very
I
doctor's doctrine.
can't say it's not true because it's been plagiarized, and it was plagiarized from some truth, right? And so
Right.
some truth in there because it's plagiarized from some. So if you believe that, then even that there's some truth. If you go into the Bible says that even the angels couldn't resist the black woman,
Okay.
right? She was something that they came down from the heavens for,
Mhm.
because wasn't no white men at this point, right?
The Bible said that. I never heard that. See, they ain't gonna teach you
You
that in
should have
church.
came. You should have came to my church.
Yeah, they
man.
ain't gonna teach you that in church.
That even the angels couldn't resist the beauty of the black woman, which is why there had to be a flood. That's what the Bible said. But all in all, what I'm saying, the black woman's greatness, beauty, you know what I'm saying, desirability.
Yes, sir.
It's
Black woman
it's,
lover.
It's renowned, bro. It's renowned. So yeah, so this white boy, even though he was a prince, he fell.
He got some snappy, nappy, dug out. She done
Dude,
she in England. She put on some Key Sweat, baby.
Yeah, but look, when they talking about going to South
had
Africa,
never heard
Get out your mama house.
so we can make noise and shit, right?
Let's get out your mama house.
Nobody, baby. That white boy said, "Oh my God!"
Right?
Damn, that chicken was good.
Come on, President.
I bet you call her Nefertiti. That's his nickname. Hey, Nefertiti. It's like, yes, go in there and be in there in a minute.
His mama was like, "I got to get the fuck out of here."
They scared neck bone gonna be getting imported by the dozens.
So they talk about going to South Africa. Make note of that.
I'm about to twist you up because we're about to get out of here.
Yeah.
Unless the brother's got something to add, that's always welcome.
Well, man, we talk.
I'm gonna twist them on this. Understand this. Once again, you get not a Nigerian, not a Ghanaian, not a black person from Senegal or South African. You get a black person from America, a biracial black person from America, where black people were created at, who shakes up the whole system. She goes over there and she done let him hear some pop. She done played Big E. What's this? I never heard this before. She over there and she
cook some greens.
Right. She in the kitchen got a little ass pot tray and them old ass white cooks out. I put some salt on that shit. He's like, oh my God, these are ribs. Right? American.
You got him
Black
talking like an
American. Well, he don't even know that.
Really heaven for a G.
Right. Or, baby, put on some pork. I want you to think a little bit.
There you go. There you go. That's
say African, you like, listen, this country made some cold-blooded people, and they call black people. And this earth, this planet, this whole, nobody was ready for the mysticism and the extraterrestrial powers of black people to meet up with colonialism and then figure it out. So cold as a white man, deep as a black man. Here I stand. Questions and answers.
until the next show.
Right. Unless y'all got something to,
No, it would just be starting from next. So
right. Shout out to Connie Becker. Don't be tripping because you white.
That's all right. No, I explained just.
I mess around and make Connie the first white outlaw y'all keep fucking with.
Let me tell you. Listen,
I give her a t-shirt
and
a hoodie.
She's objective.
We're gonna get her one anyway. Just because people sweated her. You know, here saying, I'm white, but I agree with the highest rated show. I don't know how this is gonna go. It might be 25 people listening. But whether it's a half a meal or a happy meal, it's the same thing, baby. That's
hey.
So I'm appreciative of that, and I love the support y'all have given me and my platform, and my brothers here. I want to say thank y'all for coming with this horrible snow or whatever. It shows the commitment of these brothers. So I'm appreciative of that. And I just want people to understand, man, we got more to come, big things coming. Shout out to DC Crowder. We back friends. Jackson back together. We finna get it in. So make sure y'all check us out Wednesday night. We're gonna come back with the
muddy the waters.
Right, yeah, no doubt. I've yet begun to define myself. But the good thing about that is I never let anybody define me in any shape, form, or fashion. I always tell people this, that. And I may have done things you said I did, but I'm not who you said I was. I'll see y'all Wednesday night.
Wakanda forever.
Peace. Yeah, man. That's what's up. Great show, guys. Yeah.
She was lighting YouTube up.